chalkboards, charts, flip charts, models, handouts, etc. In this lesson, I will make an attempt to bring out the role of non-projected materials in activating the teaching learning process. One of the roles of visual communicator is also to prepare the various non-projected audio visuals also. Since non-projected resources are used in normal daylight, the presenter continues to maintain eye contact, use body language and ensure students note taking, preparation, use and updating of non-projected materials are facilitated by some basic knowledge of techniques of communication and graphics as well as the teaching learning process. There are a number of materials which without the need of projection can be used as excellent aids in the teaching learning process. To inform the learner of visual communication that there are other visual elements that would fall under the role of a visual expert, to impart enough expertise to the visual communicator about preparing non-projected audio visuals for the benefit of teaching and learning process, to enlighten the learner of visual communication about a few of the delineated non-projected audio visual aids. Chalkboards, whiteboards and display boards are being used more effectively in classrooms, conferences, workshops and internal office activities across the globe. There is an artistic presentation of things in question on these boards, though many do not pay proper heed to such presentations. Blackboards or chalkboards are one and the same. Whiteboards need sketch pens to write on the boards. Very few come prepared to make a presentation on these boards most aesthetically. Many presenters, including teachers, just scribble on the board in a hanky-panky manner, giving least importance to the order of presentation while using such boards. Many people in the profession of presentation do not know that a chalkboard or a blackboard or a whiteboard has its own divisions of the board, similar to the manner a camera screen. The eye catch area of the board is center of the board, where only diagrams or central points have to appear. The sides are used for different purposes. For instance, the left side of the chalkboard is used for the introductory comments, objectives, etc. The right side corner is used for general working of the presenter using a chalk or a pen. Colored chalks for chalkboards and water-soluble crayons for whiteboard have great online potential, but have limitations too. Complicated sketches cannot be shown during the presentation. It is time consuming to write and to draw while explaining. One cannot produce any dynamic effects. Eye contact is lost during the intervals of writing on the board. Therefore, such boards should be separate from the routine class teaching boards when it comes to appropriate presentation on the board. It is here the visual communicator does wonderful job in preparing a relevant board for the benefit of the presenter, be it a teacher in the classroom or a presenter in a conference or a workshop. Aesthetic presentation with an eye on how to present the salient features of a given topic in an eye-catchy manner is the crux of the issue. One can write on blank sheets during the presentation, or one can prepare charts in advance. If complicated figures are drawn in advance, time is saved and better eye contact can be ensured during the presentation. Cutouts prepared from paper, cardboard, thermocol, plastic or wood with magnetic strips on the back offer all the advantages of charts plus more. They are small and beautiful, movable and removable, arrangeable and rearrangeable, permitting rotation, relative movement, variable figures and other dynamic possibilities. Their effectiveness is enhanced by being used in conjunction with chalkboards, whiteboards and charts. Chalkboards was the first non-projected audio-visual aid to be invented, so much so they are more like an item of furniture in any classroom or laboratory. Earlier chalkboards were made of black slate and wood painted in dull black color. Chalkboards are now made in one of the following ways. Top surface of a glass sheet is ground with the fine carborundum or aluminum oxide powder, and the bottom surface is painted green, grey or black as desired and framed appropriately, and thin steel sheet is coated with vitreous olive green on white spray paint and framed as desired. The steel sheet board is better since it is permanent and it can also be used as a magnetic board. There are two types of chalkboards, wall mounted and portable. Wall mounted boards may be a sliding series of 2 or 3 boards or folding boards. Portable boards are now mounted in frames supported on 4 legs and caster wheels. Framed boards are provided so that they can be flipped over to use of both sides. Dustless chalks are now available in different colors. Board writer, wet color pens are also available to write on white or light shade boards. Dry flannel dusters and wet cloth erasers are used to clean the board. Large size sets, squares, rulers and compasses are installed as drafting machine on top of a board for use in a drawing hall. The students of visual communication who are expected to work on drafting machine type boards would learn the correct practices by observing the teacher using the same during the demonstrations. The chalkboard can be employed as effectively as human ingenuity can go. The teacher should start with a clean chalkboard. Previously written matter is likely to distract the attention of the students. Use of the chalkboards must be planned in advance. A teacher should plan what, where and how much he would write, the sketches to be drawn, etc. He may need to divide the board into 2 or 3 parts as explained above by a vertical line. The left part of the main work and the smaller right part of the incidental work are storing of equations, important points, etc. The title of the lecture should be written in bold letters or in capitals at the top. One may also write the date and lecture number in the corner. All subtitles may be underlined. Important statements and keywords also. The final equations are either underlined or boxed in the center, the eye-catching point. This practice ensures the students' attention and enables them to take notes in a similar manner. Starting with the title or subtitle, try to develop the material with a minimum but arranged writing. This is called building up techniques. Rub off the materials not needed anymore. The board is the mirror of the teacher's mind. There are no hard and fast rules for the size and spacing of letters, but the text should be visible and readable by the students in the last row. For a classroom 6 meters deep to seat 30 to 40 students, it is recommended that the minimum size of the letter should be not less than 2.5 centimeters and the titles may be 4 centimeters in height. Do not block the chalkboard by standing in front of the materials the students wish to read and copy down. Use colored chalks with a purpose for writing keywords, showing differences, etc. Use the colors which show good contrast with the background of the board so that it can be read from a distance. Sketches must be built up step by step, starting with the center in line. It is recommended to draw highly simplified sketches on board. The students learn a great deal with reference to simple sketches and by drawing them in the same way as the teacher does. Draw stick figures and cartoons to enliven the classes whenever possible. Use instruments like set squares, a compass or a drafting machine if necessary for the sake of demonstration and tidiness, particularly in drawing room. Complicated figures may be drawn quickly by using one of the following techniques. Dot dusting. Prepare the figures on a chart and make pinholes along the lines before you bring it to the class. Place the chart flat on the board and run a duster over the lines. A dotted figure will also appear on the board. Lead pencil guidelines. Prepare the outlines on the board with a lead pencil. The teacher can see it and run the chalk over it. One may organize and write down points or draw complicated sketches in advance. One must use the chalkboard. Parts of it can be covered with a chart paper or sliding curtain. One may thus reveal the material in parts. While everyone has his own style of working, the following tips may help in tidy work. Draw straight lines and lines from right to left and from top to bottom steadily. Draw arcs of high curvature by using the wrist joint, arcs of medium curvature by using the elbow joint and arcs of low curvature by using the shoulder joint. It is a good practice to use the shoulder joint the maximum. One can bend down to use the lower part of the board and swing sideways to reach further without covering the view. Circles can also be drawn accurately by using a string. Hold one end of the string with one hand at the center of the circle and draw the circle with the chalk tied to the string by the other hand. Sometimes a chalk squeaks as it writes. This is due to the stick and slip motion between the chalk and the board. Just to break off a piece from the end. Hold it, inclining it about 45 degrees with the vertical with about 1.5 centimeter stop. Turn the chalk at intervals. Write by applying gentle pressure normal to the board. This practice overcomes squeaking and maintains uniformity. Chalkboards can be used very effectively together with other aids, charts, overhead projectors, etc. The advantages of chalkboards are instantaneous availability and inexpensive use. It can be used indoors and outdoors. In daylight, it is the simplest resource without needing electricity, demanding maintenance or making a noise. A teacher can use it instantly, so can a student. Subject matter builds up and diagrams grow on the board as the teacher learning proceeds. Teacher can write at their own pace and style. Mistakes are instantly rubbed off and corrected. Colors can be used to advantage. Other graphic techniques, example, stick figures can be employed. Complicated figures can be drawn by dot dusting or by making lead pencil guidelines. One may pre-plan the entire board work, prepare parts of the material and sketches and use the relevant techniques. A chalkboard can be used as a primary resource or as a supplementary resource. Use of chalkboard partly as a magnetic board with a magnetic cutouts or with an overhead protection or charts is very effective. The major disadvantages are it is a static aid, the teacher may create dynamic effects, but they are limited. It is a temporary record of material. If a figure must be shown again or if it needs to be referred back and forth, it cannot be stored. Chalk dust is an irritant. It can be time consuming and tiring to use the chalkboard effectively. There are various types of display boards available which can be used to fix temporarily some cutouts for visual explanations. The cutouts may be arranged, moved, rearranged, added, etc. to bring about the animation. The boards may provide plain background and should preferably to be a receding color in order to offer a good contrast with the colors of the teaching materials placed upon it. Black, dark green or dark blue colors are ideal for the board. Different boards are classified according to the principles of adhesion of the cutouts. The cutouts may be provided with the backing strips of magnetic material, sticky gun, sandpaper or some other for the purpose of instant adhesion and instant removal. Simple wooden display boards may be used for placing cutouts on it with the help of sticky gum compound resembling the chewing gum base. Magnetic boards are made of magnetic material. Example, mild steel is usually fixed over a wooden board and a painted white or olive green. This gives it a matte finish suitable for the magnetic cutouts as well as serves as a writing board. Magnetic strips or magnetic pellets are glued on the back of cutouts. Movement of some cutouts can provide a means of showing some components in action. Flannel boards are made up of a wooden board with a tight cover up of a cloth with fluffy surface. As one of the following or an equivalent material should be suitable for the surface of the board: flannel, felt, blanket cloth or rough drape cloth. If the flannel board is lightly brushed before used to remove dust etc., the adhesion quality is improved. Cutouts for the flannel board may be made of cardboard, chart or poster paper. The backing material should be such that it sticks on the flannel board with a light downward pressure and it is released from it with a gentle pull. Plastic drapes are boards made of flat and smooth plastic surface or glass sheet. Cutouts made of polyvinyl chloride, polyestyrene or thin plastic sheet stick firmly on a flat surface by the total exclusion of air, that is by the creation of vacuum between the two surfaces. When the cutout is carefully placed on the board, it is possible to build layers of sheets of different colors and to provide animation. Charts or flip charts. Charts can be arranged as single sheet charts or as series of sheets. Both methods have their relative advantages. A single sheet chart can be displayed or removed at will, shown singly or together with other charts and other teaching aids. Single sheet charts can be arranged in different combinations to suit different lesson plans. A series of charts may be arranged as flip charts by holding them together at the top edge. The material is arranged in order of progress of the session. Some techniques, example, revelation, masking and overlaying are usually employed with flip charts. The materials required to prepare charts are sheets of thick white or light colored paper, fiber taped, round point and chisel point color pens, graphic materials, scissors, drawing aids and adhesives. Before making a chart, one should plan the content in terms of the objectives and decide the layout. The layout should be balanced and should use the space effectively. One should draft the plan on a small sheet of paper with the same aspect ratio, that is as is required for the chart. Having done so, one may either start directly on the chart fixed on a drawing table by looking at the draft. Alternatively, one may complete the small chart and then project the image on a larger sheet with the help of an episcope. The chart can then be traced out with a pencil and completed with fiber piece. Small graphics available on transparencies could be projected on a chart papers by using overhead projector. Cutouts are pieces of material on an object cut into desired forms. Materials commonly used to prepare cutouts are chart paper, thermocol, perspex and wood. Cutouts are usually made in simple geometrical shapes. Example, rectangle and circle, but other shapes. Example, aerofoil, gear and commutator are also made equally easily. The back of a cutout is designed to permit its placement on the desired display surface. Among two principles of placement are interlocking, suction by vacuum and magnetic attraction. Corresponding display surfaces are made of flannel, glass and magnetic material respectively. The most popular of all cutouts are magnetic cutouts with small magnets at the back. Self-adhesive magnetic strips are commercially available in many countries. Alternatively, the magnetic lining of refrigerator doors may be stuck with adhesives. Discarded linings may be recovered from the repair shops free of cost. Heavier cutouts needed pellets and bar magnets to be fixed on their back. Display boards, easels or chalkboards made of magnetic materials, example galvanized iron or steel, are required to use magnetic cutouts. Dark green to black non-reflecting colors are ideal for light colored and white cutouts. Magnetic chalkboards offer the additional advantage of supplementing information with 4 chalk and talk style of teaching. Magnetic cutouts may be easily moved, that is turned or slide across the display surface. Provision of a bearing between the magnet and the cutout may enable it to rotate freely. Cutouts are used to place titles, captions and catchwords on the board. Cutouts made in the shape of desired graphics, example heart pump, aerofoil, are placed on the board, removed and reused repeatedly. Cutouts may be arranged to form a pattern or a story. A cutout made in the form of an arrow is a powerful pointer on the chalkboard. Rotatable cutouts, overlaid cutouts, cutouts arranged in a formation and cutouts integrated in charts can be dynamic and full of animation. Cutouts may be used together with a question answer technique to classify, identify, arrange and rearrange to build up information. Multi-component composite cutouts may be shown as one piece or separated and reoriented when desired. For example, a slotted aerofoil with a variable chamber may be used as a simple artifoil at low angles of attack in order to study the flow around it. On a chalkboard, it may be oriented at different angles of attack and changes in flow pattern which are redrawn with a chalk. Handouts are well planned duplicated documents prepared by teacher for his student in order to promote their participation in the teaching learning process. Well structured handouts can be very valuable in terms of interest, motivation and record of information. Handouts are of following types: summary type to reinforce the key words, key statements and principles; completion type to enable the students to complete the information during the progression of a lecture in a blank space or unlabeled or semi-drawn sketches; and C, in response to some questions. Notes type to enable the students to read through them, particularly in the absence of textbooks. Assignment type to assign work, home task, library work or a field job. Laboratory sheets for a practical class to provide some motivational information, to suggest format of data sheets, tables of analysis, questions for discussion, etc. Worksheets to state a problem and to give some hints to enable the students to start off and to complete a numerical design or an analysis. Question sheets to pose objective questions, generally multiple choice type questions together with response sheets if considered appropriate. Handouts may be given out to the learners at one of the following points of time: much in advance of the lesson presentation, just before the start of the lesson, during the progress of the lesson as necessary, just after the completion of the lesson, much after the lesson, the presentation. The three-dimension tangible representation of real things contrived to present the desired features of teaching learning are termed as models. Models appear in part or whole as real things. The three-dimensional nature is fundamental to their requirement. If the third dimension is unimportant, a model is probably unnecessary. In such case, a simple drawing or a picture would be sufficient. A model may be either smaller or equal to or larger than a real object it represents. For example, aeroplanes models are small, human models are the same size, and models of atomic structures are enlarged for the sake of convenience of observations. As a matter of fact, it is necessary to make model and use them because of the following reasons. Real objects may be too large or small to be studied. Real objects may be inaccessible. Real phenomena may be too fast to be observed. It may be unsafe and uneconomical to employ real objects. A variety of materials can be used to make models. Some materials could be cardboard, straw board, plywood, wire sheet, tubes of steel or aluminum, plasticine, polystyrene or thermocol, plastics. Strings, nails, screws and synthetic paste are often used. Plastics are thermoplastic and thermosetting types. Thermoplastics can be heated and formed into any shape again and again. Perspex or acrylic is available in transparent, translucent and opaque colors as sheets, pipes, rods and blocks. Many other items such as scales, verniers, micrometers can be procured off the shelf and adapted model making. For demonstration, models provide one or more features such as dummy models. These models merely show the extent of visual similarity. They bear geometrical similarity with the real objects. Cutaway models, these are made to show the interior details by cutting away a part of it. Models of motor windings, pumps, etc. are usually cutaway type. Working models, these models may be operated to demonstrate the sequence of events, motions of components, etc. Models may be hand operated, battery operated or power operated. Simplified models, such models simplify many of the unnecessary complexities of a real thing. This is done in order to focus on the attention of the desired aspects only. Assembly type models, this value of a model is considerably increased if it can be reassembled easily. Mock-up models, a mock-up is an imitation of a real thing without appearing like it. Punch bags are used by boxers and targets used for military training or dummy mock-ups. Diorama models, a diorama is three-dimensional panoramic scene made up of models, graphics, other materials and perspective views, painted or in pictures. In this lesson, from the foregoing, you can come to the conclusion that the non-projected materials are much effective and activate the process of teaching and learning. Chalkboards, effective handouts, cutouts, models, etc. offer excellent prospects in teaching and learning process. Presently, a number of these techniques and procedures are being followed across the globe, including countries like US, UK, Australia, Germany and France, etc. Even multinationals in India also do follow the above. At present, Indian universities, the teaching and learning experience is conditioned to a PowerPoint presentation, but there is no bar on applying these procedures even at the UG and PG level. Among the limitations of such resources are excessive teacher control, time-consuming preparations, lack of motion, slow pace of progression and teacher exertion. Above all, managements of the universities and colleges do not provide enough money for raising this kind of teaching materials for classrooms. Teachers cannot afford them from their own meager salaries. As a result, many of these procedures of teaching and learning process are gradually fading out from current use.